What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. We got a series win. As bad as it felt, feels a little bit better. Granted, Sunday's game, frustrating, not great, but the first two games of the series down in Atlanta went shockingly well for the Mets. They took care of business, beat down the horrible Atlanta Braves. You know the Braves only have two more wins than the Pittsburgh Pirates right now?
Wow.
And that was with winning today.
The Pirates are a 120-win team at home, so.
That is true. Against 500 teams since July. They've been unbelievable. But the Mets are playing a little bit better. Mark Vientos swinging the bat. Brett Baty's a good baseball player. Francisco Lindor stays hot. We're going to talk about everything as well as Sunday's game in this episode. Make sure you guys are following us on our social media at Mets'd on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribe to the Mets'd podcast YouTube channel if you have not seen the video version of this. Go check it out. And if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. James, first off, how are we feeling? Nice weekend. Beautiful weather out in the city this weekend.
Perfect weather in the city. Literally that perfect weather where you go outside, like T-shirt, jeans, you're like, oh, I don't feel anything. Don't feel a thing. But this was like a tantalizing series by the Mets because you felt so good. You had a chance for a sweep. You really established momentum, but you just like barely can't twist it in. Like, I don't want to be like kind of like beggars can't be choosers with how this team has played mostly, so I'm not going to like defame a series win over an Atlanta team that is horrible. I don't like going to that ballpark no matter what, and they basically threw 3 minor league pitchers against us. But still, just like having that win slip away from you on Sunday does leave like a teeny tiny bit of a bad taste in my mouth from the series.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter blaming Mendoza a lot for this one. I think we probably get a little bit too happy trying to blame and point fingers at it. Like sometimes a team like doesn't win a game, even if you pitch well, which relatively the Mets did. You gave up 4 runs in a game. They just didn't score enough. A little bit of like you tip your cap. Braves just played better today. I don't think it's really as much on Mendoza as people are really trying to make it sound like it is.
No, but for the devil's advocate with that, and like this has been also a situation where I don't know if there is a right answer, but when Peterson started to fall apart in that 6th inning, and fall apart is loose. It was 2 walks and 2 bloops. So like, you know, if anything happens a little differently, like that Sean Murphy single was no, that wasn't the one. I was thinking the one, the Gregory
Michael
Soto
Harris,
one.
I thought.
There was the one, the 8th inning one was like right in front of Cedric Mullins. Like literally one step slow on that. You don't know if you want to dive and let all the runs score, but nevertheless, go back to the 6th inning. It's just that in that Nacho Alvarez at bat, like you throw 4 straight balls to Nacho Alvarez, including his 2 lowest velocity fastballs of the game. I get it, but also at that point, Brooks Raley was the guy who had gotten up in the bullpen, and I just don't think you're bringing Brooks Raley in to face Sean Murphy in that situation. So that was that. And again, to that point in the game, David Peterson was amazing. This was one of the highest swing and miss games his entire career, 20 whiffs. I'll get the stat for you right now of how many times actually done that, 'cause I don't think it's many times, but the Mets bats did have plenty of chances to find an extra couple of runs here and there, and it just didn't happen. That's the story of the game.
Yeah, Alonso, I know he had a good night on Saturday, but he still has been, I feel like, a little bit cold at the plate and 0 for 5 when Soto and Lindor were getting on base a lot in today, especially with Soto 2 walks and a hit. Lindor got on base twice. It is a little bit frustrating to see that, but again, this is the ebbs and flows of the season. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in this one. Like, you know what the pointing fingers is? You scored 2 runs against Bryce Elder again. I don't know how we can't hit this guy. He is horrible.
Yeah, that is the problem. That's the one thing to look for. And again, there were chances. Like there's guys on base most every inning. Vientos hit that nice home run, 3rd at bat in a row at the time with a home run in the second. So it just felt like you could have kind of let the floodgates open. And again, they just didn't. Like, and also it's not like the opportunities were great. Like Elder did settle in really nicely. Baty put that ball to the warning track. That was about the 8th inning. And then Nimmo did one to begin the 9th inning too off Raisel Iglesias. Like there were little moments here and there where you felt like something could have happened. Also, I think Soto, I'm still thinking the Baty went to the warning track in the 8th, but you had these kind of small opportunities. I need the big hit here, need the big hit there. It just didn't come.
No, sometimes that happens. Yeah, I think that, you know, to overblow this loss with how well things went earlier in the series would be a little frustrating. I guess the only topic of conversation left from this game, in my opinion, is going to be how we keep going Cedric Mullins in center field, Tyrone Taylor in left, when we're talking about defensive alignment, which is interesting because we know center field is more important defensively. Tyrone is a better defensive center fielder than Cedric Mullins. It's not because Mullins is bad. It's Tyrone is that good out there. I wonder what the reasoning is. I believe Cedric Mullins hasn't played a lot of left field, so maybe that's the case, is that Tyrone can still be plus in left field and Cedric Mullins plus in center, where if you move him to left, he might go down a bit, Cedric. But it did hurt at the end of the game when this was like a conversation that has been had all weekend, and you hear Gary with how close Cedric Mullins was to that baseball, being like, it's interesting that they keep going with this alignment.
Yeah, especially when the day before it wasn't like a moment on the razor's edge, but I think the way the game ended Saturday is very easy to forget how close it was early. Where Cedric Mullins where Tyrone Taylor makes that diving catch
Sick
with Clay
play.
Holmes to get through the sixth inning. That was an amazing play, and this is probably something where our analysis lacked a little bit. Where I still believe, and I know that Cedric Mullins is a good center field defender. We've cited his OAA a lot of times, being like he's a plus defender there, he's a plus defender there. But OAA doesn't segment for center fielders; it's a segment for all outfielders. In terms of all center fielders, Cedric Mullins is towards the bottom with just the +2 OAA, where Tyrone Taylor is closer to the top of the middle with his, I think, +6 or +7. So I do think that is something that we didn't say. But also, if he's just not comfortable in the corner, I don't know, that's it. Like, you opt for the player there. And also, I don't know if that ball was, like, the most catchable ball on earth. Like, that sinking line drive, like that low, slow sinking line drive in front of you as a center fielder, that's a very, very difficult play. And that's just kind of how it goes. And again, to leave Peterson in that game, while that inning did spin out quickly, you talked about this before we started recording. Who's the sixth inning guy right now?
And if you're going to just go to another lefty, like, this is something that I used to make fun of Don Mattingly for so much when he used to take out Clayton Kershaw and then bring in another lefty. And I'm like, Clayton Kershaw is the best lefty you have on on your roster. David Peterson is the best lefty on this roster. Like, he is the best pitcher who throws from the left-hand side. So for me, like, if you were going to go to Brooks Raley and you pulled Peterson to go Raley, unless Peterson really was like just getting shelled, like he was against the Braves at home last week. Like, that was a time where like the wheels were coming off. But for Peterson, it felt like he wasn't as sharp. But to have gone to Raley would have been crazy. I don't know. Would you have wanted to see Brazoma? You want to see Stanek? You want to see Helsley? Like, you can't really trust these guys right now.
No, and again, like this was one of the first 5 innings, at least one of the best pitch games of David Peterson's career.
So
like,
good.
I think it's another thing we lack right now. I don't think we give Dave Peterson enough credit for how consistent, how amazing he's been just all season on this team. This was the most swings and misses he got in any start this year with 20. It's the third time in his entire career he's gotten 20 swings and misses in the game. The first one was all the way back in 2020, that end of the season start against the Braves, which was the first time we were like, oh, this guy actually might have some stuff here. And then last year, that game against the Red Sox, September, when he just diced them up, I think we were in Citi Field for that one. Like, that's how good he was. 10 swings and misses on the slider alone. It was just, you feel him losing the zone, but then the other side is the bottom of the order. And it's like, I don't hate the fact that Mendoza's like, hey, get through this sixth inning, because I don't know who was coming in that I thought was going to be better. And again, he didn't get burned by hard contact.
No.
There wasn't a home run. There wasn't like a line drive in the gap. It was literally 2 walks and 2 bloops. Sometimes 2 walks and 2 bloops is just all you need. But like to let 2 walks and 2 bloops happen to hitters in this lineup 5 through 9, like, tip the cap.
Okay, so then let's bring it back now to the positive stuff, because that was about 5 minutes of the bad game, right? We don't need to focus on that one too much. It sucked, but overall, this was a good weekend for the Mets. They smoked the Braves the first 2 games, got a little bit closer in game 1 than it should have. But is Mark Vientos back?
I thought you were going to go straight for Nolan McLean. I can't believe you haven't mentioned Nolan McLean yet, right?
Because he's going to get his own just like full
section
where it's just like, let us glaze Nolan McLean and all his prowess, because this dude is a fucking beast.
All right, so Vientos specifically, it was the home run on Saturday where I was like, oh, maybe he is back. I don't remember I'm double checking right now if it was the 7th inning home run or if it was the 9th inning home run. But okay, it was the 7th inning home run off of Dylan Lee, which was just, it's great to watch Dylan Lee just completely shit himself down there. It's just 3 home runs and 5 batters, whatever that wound up as. Mark Vientos had that home run, 77.5 miles an hour bat speed in that swing. The 20th fastest swing he's had the entire season, 2nd fastest on a home run. One of the other fastest home runs also happened within the month of August. So the fact that he is pulling the ball more often, lifting the ball, swinging harder, like, those to me are all things where I'm like, now I feel a certain way about Mark Vientos again.
Yeah, there's a confidence there. And when we spoke to Daniel Murphy on the podcast, we talked about Vientos, and he mentioned how Vientos needs to kill left-handed pitching. And right now, he is doing that. I mean, he's hitting everybody really well, but to get there, he's punishing left-handed hitting, and that's truly where, for the roster flexibility right now, especially with Ronnie hitting a bit of a skid, like Vientos coming into his own a little bit, starting to show us a little bit of that 2024 version of himself, is absolutely massive. And if Starling Marte can play left field like he did in this game on Saturday as well, making a great play, throwing an absolute seed to home, you can DH Vientos then, and you don't have to worry about the defensive liability.
Maybe this is a weird thing that's happened with this Mets team. I was talking about this with our buddy Ernie on Saturday night, where a lot of these guys, besides Pete, Lindor, Soto, they haven't played the whole year. It's not really the same level of fatigue, I think, for Mets teams in the past, or a lot of teams in the past, where it's like we play the same guys all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there's relatively fresher legs on with guys like Vientos, Beatty, Marte, Mauricio, McNeil. Now Nimmo's dinged up right now. I wonder what's going to happen with him with the IL, but he did put a good swing on the ball on Sundays. Like, there is something where this is kind of a great way to build your team, where it's a lot of veterans mixed in with a lot of young players, where you can kind of get these contributions late in the season when things at times like they've been for the last few months are going south. Someone can kind of just grab you out of the doldrums you might not have expected. And this series, partially, that was Mark Vientos, as well as Brett Bailey, who those two are just becoming a tandem now, leaving Brian Mauricio in the dust a little bit. But I think that, again, in 2 weeks, this might change again. Like, that's kind of that's the whole beauty of this.
That's why you like having a deep bench, why you like having versatile players. This is why we like having guys like this on this roster rather than filling it with a bunch of old scrubs like they have in the past, because they have the ability to actually make an impact. As much as I've screamed and yelled about Mark Vientos all year, we've seen the impact he can make. We've just been waiting for it to happen, and hopefully this is kind of the little push that he's needed, the little jolt to remember and kind of like scared straight wake up like, I am good at baseball. I can be good. I did it last year for basically a full season. Why not again?
And again, it's trying to find these little pieces of signal in the improved play, like seeing the bat speed tick up a little bit. Also, because in the same game, the ninth inning home run, 70-mile-an-hour swing. I don't know how Mark Vientos gets so much loft and power while swinging so slowly. And honestly, it does not make sense. I would love to truthfully ask him that, because it's shocking. It's just, even the home run he hit against Bryce Elder, that was 70, like, not even considered a fast swing, which is 75 miles per hour. That was 74 and a half. But he's crushing these balls. He's getting lift on them. They got the big backspin. Like, these are home runs in 30 out of 30 parks, most of them. Like, they're being crushed.
Remember when we watched him take BP when we worked with the team? Like, he does have easy power, where, like, he doesn't exert a lot of effort and force, it looks like, at the plate, and then all of a sudden the ball jumps off of it. Now, of course, we know swing speed does determine how hard you can hit a baseball, the max possible velocity that you can hit it, and you want to hit the ball harder than you do softer. But for Vientos, if being close to that hard swing speed, because this year it's been closer to like that 72, 73 range, but if he's hovering closer to that fast swing and that's what's causing power now, like, again, I don't care about the strikeouts if you have this home run ability that we've seen.
And much more simply, like you said before, we talked to Murph about, you just got to be the guy that crushes lefties.
Yes.
Like, you're going to see tough lefties all the time. We're going to see multiple. We're going to see at least one tough lefty this week with Phillies coming to town. It's like, you have to be okay. I remember we're going to miss Ranger Suarez, which is nice, but you just have to be able to do that if you are more or less a one-dimensional player. Also thought it was interesting that he got the first base start on Sunday. Maybe that's the thing with Pete too. I know we've talked about that with him in the past, where he's kind of vocalized that he doesn't think he hits as well when he's not like in the game in the field.
5.
And you felt that with his approach in the game on Sunday, where he specifically left a lot of guys on base. Like, we had tons of momentum against Raisel Iglesias that ninth inning with the 3 hits in a row by Mullins, Lindor, and Soto, and just that very bad pop up and the pop up by McNeil as well. And then McNeil gets the rep at first base right after that too, which I thought was funny. This is still the same thing where it's like we just for some reason can't get all 4 of these guys hot at the same time, or at least 3 of them, not even including Nimmo in that. So it's just like something's got to go. Like, we're close, because watching the first 2 games of this series is kind of that realization of like, yeah, the pitching was great, but this team will only go as far as the lineup takes them.
Of course,
at the end of the day, like if this lineup still has a chance to get so scalding hot that they can run through teams, like that's how good it can be.
Right now, you're looking at a lineup when fully healthy, right? Let's just talk through it real quick. Lindor's got an OPS right around 800 again, because he's been awesome ever since we talked about how terrible he's been. Juan Soto's one of the most valuable hitters in baseball, whether you Mets fans want to believe it or not. The statistics tell us he is. OPS right around 900. Pete Alonso, 850 OPS. McNeil, 800 OPS. Starling Marte, 800 OPS. And then you're looking at the bottom third of the order now. Nimmo, when he's healthy, he's going to be around 750 to 800. And then you're talking about like the last 3 guys in this lineup, and that could be a combination of Beatty. That could be Cedric Mullins. Like, obviously the catcher position is a bit of a hole, even though Terren swung the bat really well today, which was good to see.
Sanger swung good the other 2 days.
Yes, like, this is a competent lineup when things are going right. It's just, we know that the potential is there. It's nice to see McNeil swinging the bat so well. He's also been so awesome. I think, remember people wanted to write this guy off? Even like a month ago, people were still ready to write him off. We should trade him at the deadline. Like, he's an incredibly valuable player to this team.
Kratz, if you need to pay rent for your apartment and you're not getting anything for it, then you probably haven't heard of Built.
You have to pay rent every single month. Why not get some points that you can redeem for other things that are a lot more fun than paying rent, like flights, hotels, Uber rides?
That's right. And it doesn't stop there. Built is about making your entire neighborhood more rewarding. You can dine at your favorite local restaurants, and you can earn additional points with VIP treatment at certain fitness studios. And you can also enjoy exclusive experiences that are just for Built members. They announce them every month. Built is turning a monthly expense into an opportunity to earn rewards and discover the best that your neighborhood has to offer. Your rent is finally working for you, and you can earn points on rent and around your neighborhood wherever you call home by going to joinbuilt.com/foul. That's joinbilt.com/FOUL. Make sure to use our URL so they know that FT sent you. Get after it.
Definitely. I was pissed about that, how that bat went to end the game on Sunday.
Yes,
Just like a lazy pop-up swinging on a pitch like right there. There was also like, again, little micro moments from these games to talk about. When Soto let the 3-0 pitch go by in the 7th, I was like, damn. I wish he would just swung at that one. You know what I mean? Like, that's a situation where it's like, I know it's okay to pass it on from Juan Soto to Pete Alonso. It's a great problem to have. But in that moment, I was like,
well, you know what's funny?
The damage.
Is if Juan Soto swings that 3-0 pitch, doesn't hit a home run, people go, he's selfish. Pete Alonso's coming up next.
It's true.
And then if he does swing at, or doesn't swing at it, you're like, man, that was a really good pitch for him to hit. I wish he would swing. Like, it's a catch-22. It's kind of everything in baseball.
It's catch-22 in a way, but it's also just like, again,
I don't disagree with you.
Even if he made out, I would be like, good time to swing. Like, you're here to drive
me and you
run.
Wouldn't do that. Yes.
For sure. And again, whatever the other people are saying, that's not a big deal at all. But it's just there's still these. And again, we're just magnifying all these things because you lose this game by 1 run. Like, that's kind of the annoying part about it. But just can we talk about Nolan McLean now?
One more real quick.
Okay.
Clay Holmes.
Why do you want to talk about everything before? We could talk about Clay Holmes after McLean.
Nolan McLean's coming. He's coming. You gotta tease the people. This is just
come on.
We're gonna talk about him. But Clay Holmes looked great too. Clay Holmes was awesome.
Great. I mean, this is the preeminent Clay Holmes podcast. I think Clay Holmes has been like the most underappreciated player in this Mets team all season. So he's kind of Jeff McNeil the rotation right now. Where
3.6 ERA, 11 wins on the season. Wins podcast for this scenario.
Also got to the 7th inning. Like, he literally caught the Nolan McLean contagion where he was like, oh, I guess I can do this too. But like, we're looking at 140 innings with 3.6 ERA, and you're like, yes, like, that is awesome. Like, that has been so valuable what this team's done. He's taken the ball every 5 or 6 days whenever he's been there. Like, there's been no hiccups, no nothing. It's just he's been like the Walmart version of David Peterson in a way. It's been perfect.
I've got your segue to Nolan McLean.
Okay.
I'm leading you in. You got like 10 seconds. It is funny how Nolan McLean broke the record for the going into the 6th inning, completing 6 innings from David Peterson. Clay Holmes the next day does it. The guy who then breaks the streak of 6+ innings is David Peterson.
Yeah, and also it was like really, really, really close to just getting through that. But Holmes also, like, I like when this version of Holmes that we've seen over the last few weeks, especially where he's like, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of sinkers. It's like, I don't care, just hit the ball into the ground. Like, I'm not even here to get swings and misses anymore. It's just please hit as many ground balls as you can. I have this ground ball number right here. I just gotta find it real quick for how many like Holmes got in the start.
Pounding into the ground.
It was a ton. It was only about half. It was only 9 out of 18.
I mean, that still is a lot, though.
Oh, still a ton, but it's fun for a guy like that. Like, it's just there was only like 2 or 3 balls that were put in play where I was like, oh, something could actually happen on these. It was just like he was so on top of his game, keeping it low, below the belt, and just like let this team hang around. Again, like, the way the final score wound up, you would think this was a blowout, but this was not a blowout. This was a 1-run game throughout. Like, we had a lead, they kind of came back. Starling Marte had a great throw, Tyrone Taylor, great catch, and Beatty, another fantastic game at third base.
Good ball player.
I had a few libations on Saturday, and I let out a tweet where I made a bold claim that Brett Beatty will have a 5-win season in his career, and I stand by that right now.
It's gonna be really hard.
He's gonna get 3 this year, and he's gonna play like 100 games.
I know it's hard. It's just hard.
No, I'm saying, yeah, man, I think he can do that. If he would have actually hit that home run in the 7th inning or the 8th inning on Sunday, I would have been chiseling the plaque for Cooperstown. I was
That's
all
the turnaround
ready to
Brett
go.
Beatty needed.
We're working on 83 games now from Brett Beatty since he called back up. So not even including the Wheeler home run, like the good week he had before he got sent down when McNeil came back. It's a 30 homer, 10 steal pace with 800 OPS.
And playing good defense at third and second base.
It's like, that is such a good baseball player.
Like Mike Moustakas.
It's better than Mike Moustakas. Like, it's so annoying. I mean, it's so amazing like that we've like stuck through with Brett Beatty, and now he's become a baseball player that like could really ease everything for this team going into just the future, knowing you have this guy who can do all these different things really well.
Yeah, I mean, and if we want to talk about the future, Nolan McLean is that fucking. He's that guy.
Talk about the fucking present, baby. No, Nolan McLean, that was sick. To do that on national television with his whole family there, just because he's from the North Carolina area, like, that was sick. Especially while we had half the broadcast ruins, just because Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux had to spew nonsense. I had to hear John Smoltz talk shit about the state of baseball while we're rallying.
I got a question. How many times are the Braves going to trot those three out? I feel like 3 or 4 times a year these guys throw out the first pitch. They get honored 3 or 4 times a year. That's insane.
They honored the World Series team before that game on Friday. So McLean was pitching in front of a literal sellout packed house. Like there was that place was loud on television. Again, like it's so annoying. I like Maddux. Maddux is good. Maddux is great, but once you get Smoltz in there, just talking about how much he hates baseball, and he gets the other guys who agree with him about basically how all the players who are playing are like
not nearly as good as they were.
Weaklings. Yeah, they can't throw 7 innings like we did, huh? 8 innings, ice your arm, play golf the next day. It's like it's just so annoying to hear them do that. But
I almost fired off a tweet and being like, "There's nothing more than like old heads in baseball love to do than like tear down the game that they love." Be like, the guys we're playing right now never could have hung in my time. They can't. This game is terrible. You shouldn't even watch this anymore.
There was a tweet that was going viral about how like we've wrongly recalibrated radar guns.
Oh,
all the velocity
dude,
now is a bullshit.
That was the tweet that I saw that made me think to put out that tweet where I was like, the weird narrative that again like that group of baseball people have. I mean, shout out Pitching Ninja for replying to him and be like, this is incredibly misleading and also incorrect. Like this stuff is so stupid.
Mike Petriello had a similar retort to it where he basically was like, so you're going to tell me that in every single sport we're seeing players stronger, faster, bigger, but for some reason in baseball it's the only sport where the guys are not throwing harder.
Never.
Like how could that be possible? And again, so just that was a little quick media marvel inside of the Nolan McLean recap, but he was sick. Something so cool that he did in this game was that he did it totally differently in that first start. And we got that great soundbite for you guys. You put it in the last episode, right? The locker room thing?
Oh, definitely forgot to put it in.
You forgot to put it in?
Put it in now. Right. Put it in now.
I'll put it in right now. I can't believe you forgot to put it in there. That's
I definitely forgot. Now that you said it, I was like,
to remind you.
Super forgot.
Painful. All right, shout out my guy Tim, NBC from the Nats Chat podcast. He asked about why Nolan McLean, and you guys just heard it right now.
No one used your curveball much more the other night than in AAA. What made you more comfortable with it?
Yeah, the game was just calling for it at the time. I didn't have tremendous feel of my sweeper the other day, especially the left-handers. So I had to make an adjustment, and it ended up being a curveball, especially with 2 strikes. That's been something I started throwing a lot more in AAA later in the year. I'm sure the percentages were still lower than most of my pitches, but there's definitely something that I've probably about halfway through in AAA. I started mixing in a lot more 2 strikes, just something to get into the dirt and change eye levels a little bit.
What's the biggest thing you're working on ahead of the next outing?
Just staying ahead, making sure my sweeper's getting to the glove side a little bit better and not leaving it arm side with those lazy style misses of just kind of coming out of my hand weird and being uncompetitive. I want all my misses to be competitive and staying in the zone as long as possible.
He asked about why Nolan McLean went to that curveball. It was cool to hear him say the game called for it. Where this game against the Braves, like we talked to you guys about in the series preview, much more righty-heavy lineup, much less platoons. With that, he was able to go to the sweeper and the sinker, the 2 pitches that are his bread and butter, and use those pitches to kind of torment these guys and not be hunting for these strikeouts and hunting for these whiffs, getting tons of ground balls, forcing tons of weak contact, and completing 7 innings for the first Met not named David Peterson since April 13th.
It's fun to watch him throw. He attacks hitters, which is really nice. He's got good control, good command, which is something that he did initially struggle with in the minors, especially at AAA early on. That walk rate was pretty high. But like you said, because there were so many righties in there, he could use his bread and butter pitches with that sinker and that sweeper and really just make these Braves hitters look foolish. And that sinker, again, I don't know what it is, but it looks like it moves differently than everyone else's sinker. It's got crazy... I feel like it goes up to go down. I don't know why. That's a visual thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know why too. I'll check the moving profile on it right now specifically. But like he also like got to a point in this game where he was starting to do some like real ballsy things with his pitches. Like right when the lineup went around for a third time, he picked off a strike on a front hip sinker to Jerkson profile. When we say a front hip sinker, is that when the pitcher like Nolan McLean's righty, his sinker's going to move to his arm side. So you aim that sinker at the left-handed batter's hip, and it goes back and it knocks off. It just nips that low and inside corner.
The Bartolo Colon fastball.
Yes, Michael King does this really well right now too. But the fact that he had, again, the balls to do that, and then the way he sawed off Ronald Acuna Jr. later that inning, threw him a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. I don't remember if I think that was the 6th or the 7th inning when he did that, where I was just like, oh, man. And he made Matt Olson, one of the best left-handed batters in baseball, look stupid.
That pitch was...
many occasions.
That pitch that basically almost hit his back foot, that was like one of the nastiest pitches I've ever seen.
It was it's ferocious. And he struck him out 3 times. This is literally one of the best left-handed batters in the league.
Matt Olson's supposed to have the advantage against him.
This is McLean's weakness, and that's Matt Olson's strength, and he still made him look dumb every single time. Like, I remember those early career at-bats for even David Peterson, a lefty against Matt Olson. How often that Matt Olson used to get the better of him on like a 2-strike changeup his 3rd time around. But it's just there, even in this game, too, with the sinkers and the sweepers being prominent, working low in the zone a lot, 13 of the 17 balls the Braves put in play were on the ground. You can't lose like that. You're getting 13 ground balls and 7 strikeouts. Like 7 innings is like the minimum you can do. Like he was so in control. He's so poised. He pitches with big, huge, gigantic balls. Being supported by 21 hits helps a lot. The fact that we had 4 runs by the 4th. By the 4th inning of this game, all 9 players in the Mets lineup had a hit.
Sick.
Could you imagine that shit? But like the fact that he
Eric
was
Chavez,
able,
baby.
that's it. He found a way. We brought the nose up. Mets are one of the best risk teams in baseball for the last 2 months. We got that one. Yeah, that was moving around a lot because of me. But it's just he's making these guys. It's like this is the birth of something special. Like watching him pitch. Like I don't want to put too much on his shoulders, but I literally can't wait till he pitches again.
Yeah, no, of course I'm not going to say anything insane, but like definitely frustrated again though. Happy frustrated, super happy frustrated because he is. I mean, Mets make the playoffs. He's what, game 2 starter.
Maybe have you thought about 2033? We got the extra year. I mean, also, if he does win the Rookie of the Year next year and we get that draft pick, we'll be like, yes.
But we did it. But we also might have Jonah Tong, who's also competing for that next year. And then also Carson Bench. I mean, maybe this was the whole plan is we're going to take over the top 3 of the Rookie of the Year voting and guarantee that we get an extra pick.
Yeah, that's the whole plan. It's just, it's so cool to watch Nolan McLean do this. Again, a little bit of frustration because I wasn't in the rotation like 2 months ago, but also at the same time, like it's nice to be watching this in real time and like really seeing the proof in the pudding that everything that we've been talking about for the last few years and everything that we know this Mets team is trying to build under the surface seems to be working in a really resounding way with at least the first breakthrough possible star from it.
Yeah, he's just awesome and really, really fun to watch. It's a very comfortable, relaxing watch seeing Nolan McLean out there, which is pretty impossible for most pitchers to be second start into their career. He's going to have a bad one eventually. It will happen, just like Jake Mizorowski, just like Paul Skeens, just like everybody. But the 2 starts that we've seen from him thus far have been truly as astounding to watch. That's the word I'm going to use.
And like, if he would have came out and done the exact same thing he did against the Mariners, been like, I'm gonna just breaking ball these guys to death and pitch really well, I would have been like, yes, this is awesome. But seeing that level of pitchability from a young guy like this, who has not ever, he's still has not been a full-time pitcher for this is his first year being a full-time pitcher for the entire year. Yeah. This is it. He was hitting last season in like May. This is it. And the fact that even like he went out with his fastball, he's like, yeah, I'm just going to start blowing fastballs by guys because I don't think they're expecting it, which is also so cool. Again, listening back to that quote, him being like, this is what the game called for. The fact that you can be a different pitcher inside of your own repertoire successfully at this point, 2 starts into a career with that kind of poise. Like that's something that takes you a long way.
It's got to feel good too for Jeremy Hefner, where it's like we have a game plan and we can execute this game plan. How nice is this?
And then, well, again, it was really nice for a long time. We thought we were going to be able to walk through this game and wind up being like the easiest win of the season. Because again, we were winning this game when Nolan McLean left. Until anyone besides Nolan McLean threw a pitch, we were winning this game 12-2.
Yes, yeah.
And we had 20 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Siamese twins of what's going wrong right now in this Mets bullpen, Reed Garrett and Ryan Helsley, come in and make this so much sweatier than it ever had to be, so much more nerve-wracking and tiresome this game ever should have been. And there should be some, I think there is, but some cause for concern about both of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see Ryan Helsley continue to get shit on. He's not even close to being a good pitcher right now. Like, I don't know how he gets out of the woods here. Same thing with Reed Garrett. Both of them feel mega lost. Both of them feel like kind of hopeless right now, where I've seen you be good pitchers, especially Reed Garrett we've seen for a couple of years, but he always goes in these weird streaks where he is almost unpitchable. And he got through the inning at least, thank goodness, because again, it was 12-5 when he got out of the game, Reed Garrett. But to give up those 3 runs, stressful. Didn't even walk anybody. And then for Helsley to then come in the 9th in what was a bit of a, I don't want to say disrespectful because Ryan Helsley does not deserve any close games right now by any means, but that's a bit of a wake-up call, I feel like, when you bring out Ryan Helsley in a 12-5 game. That's a little bit of a shot to him, like, hey, we need you to get confident, we need you to get right. And he's not. He still isn't. 3 hits, 3 earned runs. He looked way worse than he even had before. I don't know how it's possible. The dog days of summer means it's time for the boys of summer to kick it into gear. And the best way to cash in on your baseball IQ is with DraftKings Sportsbook. Never bet on baseball before? It's simple. Pick a guy to go yard, hammer some live odds mid-game, or just ride with your squad and hope for the best. No spreadsheets, just vibes and dingers. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL. That's code FOUL for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
And it's just like I tried to get really deep on Ryan Helsley here and look at what's going on, like what's wrong. And even this game, because I think a lot of times for a lot of these other appearances, it's been like his command's been off. This one, he was in the zone. I think the Mets were instructing him be in the zone. And they were trying to push up his curveball usage in this one, where he, in one bad inning, he threw 6 curveballs. Ryan Helsley's not throw very many curveballs. No. He is a very, while he was with the Cardinals, for the first 3 months of the season, he threw 32 total curveballs. Yeah. So that was like 18% of all the curveballs he threw before this trade happened, just in this one horrible inning. And looking deeply, like there's no real changes in the velocity, the pitch movement, the arm angle, the extension. It really does come down to the sequencing and the fact that he's not able to get the swings and misses at all in that slider like he was. That slider was like it was a wagon. It was one of the best pitches in the league. Like that pitch itself had a 45% strikeout rate and a 46% whiff rate. So far as a Met, and this is including, of course, that disaster on Friday. So it's only to 24% strikeout rate and 34% whiff rate. When that's the one pitch you can lean on like that, it just needs to be better. Because his fastball is like kind of a medium whiff pitch. It really more so is like it's to get called strikes, it's to get a head pitch, and he needs that slider to be the finisher. And it's not the finisher. It makes me a little bit almost worried that they're breaking out this curveball. Yeah. So I'm like, you should have been able to be this 2-pitch guy, and now we're trying. And again, this goes back to the conversation we had about Hefner the other day, where like you're trying to cast aspersions on my GOAT, but it's also like he's clearly in the lab with these guys trying to do something here. And
well, listen, my dispersions that I was casting, as you just so eloquently said, it was a thought process. It was a conversation. I have to play both sides. I give Eric Chavez and Jeremy Barnes the utmost shit. So when pitching goes wrong, I have to be fair to Jeremy Hefner. He understands. He doesn't take offense.
That's right, but that also to me is like maybe again, hopefully it's a good thing. Hopefully maybe he can corral that curveball, and that curveball comes a piece, and then we back our way back into this thing. But
I was gonna say the best case scenario is like get it all the fuck out now, man. Like get it all out now, figure it out so that if we are playing October baseball, Ryan Helsley is back to the version that he was, because he was a top 10 reliever in all of baseball, undoubtedly, before coming to the Mets, and then he comes here and it's like those brights, they're too light, turn them off.
Yeah, that probably is some of it too. Like this definitely comes down to one, like a lot of just small sample shit. Like he's only made 5 appearances with the Mets. It feels like a lot because we got him. It was a big deal. Yeah, so then they've all been bad, basically besides the first one, which almost got bad if you remember right, that Friday night against the Giants. And then all of a sudden, like these things start to snowball, and being a reliever is such a mental game. Like here, Trevor May talk about that all the time when he does his own content and he goes on Rates and Barrels every single week, where it's just like you kind of have to believe like you're the man, you're the guy. It's like now the fact that belief is gone, you're coming into blowouts, you're trying to work on fold in a new pitch, your slider, which is your bread and butter, doesn't get one swing and miss in that game, where it's just like you can't spot them right. Like some of these, you can't call strikes them, you're not burying them, but you bury them, you're spiking them, it's not close. It's a scary thing for Helsley right now, but it's also the thing where I know that like one click and it happens back. Like this is a similar thing with Helsley. People are clamoring to get Ryan Stanek off this team. Like last August, Ryan Stanek literally was an unusable relief pitcher, and then 3 weeks later he was the primary setup man. Like that's just when guys throw 100 miles per hour, it's kind of like I don't know, they're kind of like puppies in a way. Where like you just gotta nurse them along, like they'll piss on the rug, no worries. Like you gotta let them make their mistakes, because if anything goes right, like it'll be the best experience ever.
100%. Can I talk about some of the positives from Friday as well?
Can I do Reed Garrett quickly?
Oh yeah, do Reed Garrett. I forgot. I honestly, there was so much negative. I thought we slipped him in there a little bit.
Reed Garrett, I'm a little bit more concerned about than either Helsley or Stanek right now, just because there's the same thing that happened with Reed Garrett last year, early in the season, the first time he went down the skids a little bit, where they're not chasing the stuff anymore. He's not getting swings and misses out of the zone on really anything besides the splitter. And this is the same thing we talk about Sangha all the time, where if they know that splitter's coming, it's a really easy one to hit. And if they know it's coming and they're not swinging out of the zone, then he has to throw it in the zone. If they throw it in the zone, like we just talked about, Murph, if it's straight and slow, like the hitters see that coming from a mile away, where he's only gotten one swing and miss on his sweeper out of the zone since the end of June.
That's so bad.
And his color's a pitch that he's not throwing it in the zone as much as he was, but they're not chasing it when it's out of it. He has zero chases and misses on his color since the end of June. So it's a situation what happens for Reed Garrett right now, where it's like he doesn't have the overpowering fastballs, but he has all the junk on them. He has to be locating that junk better than right now. He's just not.
Yeah, no, he's there's three guys right now very concerned about in the bullpen, which I didn't think I'd be having that feeling right now.
Yeah, definitely. I if I'll miss this after the game. John Harper tweet just now talking about last moment about negative stuff.
Sure.
Todd Zeile said that he thinks that Tyrone Taylor catches that ball that dropped in front of Mullins. I think that's toxic. I think it's toxic to say that.
I think that's a bad look. Keith he was like, nobody makes that play. He goes, he's like, you need to make a perfect play, and even still then you have to lay out tough play. I thought it was a tough play. I think there's a lot of unwarranted hate still to Cedric Mullins, who had a nice little weekend, by the way.
Oh, he did. And I think, again, like Cedric Mullins isn't an elite center field defender. He's a good center field defender. Tyrone Taylor is closer to being an elite center field defender, but very clearly he's much less capable with the bat than Cedric Mullins is. And that's not even a conversation.
It does also matter too, like where Tyrone would have been to start the pitch too. Like, what if Tyrone plays a little deeper? What if he plays? Like there's different things that get put into this. I feel like that's not fair to really say that to Cedric Mullins. I do think that's a little bit of a shit job there by Todd Zeile. That's a little media marvel-ish.
Kind of, a little bit. It's close to a media marvel. If that becomes a bigger story, maybe we'll media marvel in a little while. But I think that, again, it's just, sometimes you got to blame the lunch lady. And I think that's happening right now. People trying to point fingers after a loss like this. Sometimes you just lose.
And what's funny, too, is it was, again, relatively a great weekend because the Mets bats absolutely woke up. Dude, we love Juan Soto on this podcast. The rest of the world, not so much. You know what Juan Soto's numbers are the last 2 weeks?
Tell me.
Last 15 games that Juan Soto has played. 6 home runs. 6 home runs, 13 RBIs, 17 walks, 15 strikeouts, 14 hits. He's got an OPS at 1024 over the last 2 weeks.
No, he's
pretty good.
Watching him every single day, you're like, this guy is unbelievable. Also, a lot of credit has to be heaped onto Starling Marte. Starling Marte,
he's been awesome.
Oddly, has been the glue. He's been the glue guy, like in a crazy way. Like when both of these games dropped lineups, when Starling Marte was sitting there on Friday, I was like, shit. And when Starling Marte was in left field Saturday, I was like, shit. And both times in both games, he did something really good from those spots to help the team win.
We are going on his last 30 games. Starling Marte has a 928 OPS and 100 at bats.
That's also with an injury in between.
Yeah. Like that's really, really good. He's playing really good baseball. And then you can just go through this lineup and you're starting to see maybe those bats wake up a little bit. Francisco Lindor, we know, has been absolutely on fire, but especially the last 15 days, even the last 30 games, his OPS is above 900. The last 15 games, it's over 1,100. The dude's locked in at the plate. The one guy who's really not hitting right now is Pete. That's pretty much it.
I have a crazy stat about Lindor. So I covered the Mets game on Friday for NBC. And at this time, Lindor's last 10 games, after Friday night, he was 22 for 44.
Oh.
So for a 10-game stretch, he was 500. In those 10 games, he bumped his OPS from 735 to 797. In 10 games in the middle of August, he went 60 OPS points after hitting 500. So I think that's another one where it's like, cool. Now the stats look nice again. It's all good. The one guy who's not going to get the stats looking nice again, which is really important, though, just to be nice, is Vientos.
Yep.
Especially with him and Marte together, if they can be lefty mashers, that makes his team look a lot different as we head down the stretch and have to play some of these tough lefties.
It's the conversation that Mookie Betts has had out loud a couple times where he's like, this season's numbers are going to look bad for me. This is a lost year statistically, but I can still finish the year and be the player that I can be. And for Mark Vientos, his last 30 games, we're looking at an OPS of 843. That's phenomenal. 770 OPS Mark Vientos would be a revelation to this team. If he is like that 840 OPS is basically what he did last year. If he is the last year version of Mark Vientos, again, this team becomes very scary at the plate.
Literally. And I think that conversation that we have about Betts a lot, that's a really easy thing to like mentally get through when you're a Hall of Famer with multiple World Series rings.
Of course.
I think it's a very difficult mental hurdle for a guy like Mark Vientos, 25 years old, still actively looking for his footing in this league, came up in trade discussions, was the hero, became the pariah. Like he's gotten everything in between the last 12 months. So I think it maybe it's hated, beloved, like getting shit talked on the Mets'd podcast, getting loved in the Mets. Like he's run the whole gambit in 12 months. And so I think if he can get through that mental hurdles, I think seeing his confidence, like seeing the way he's swinging the bat harder, pulling the ball, being more decisive with more conviction at the plate, like those are all things I think play into this. Just a big step forward. Him, again, being some guys that we need to lengthen this lineup. Because at this point in the season, I'm so confident Brett Beatty playing every single day.
Of course, he's great.
But Brett Beatty, you basically can't take him out against any pitcher. No, he's by one of those positions, like he's locked in there. And then the rest,
Brett Beatty's almost at a point where, like, this offseason, you don't even consider trading him because he's so valuable, because he plays multiple positions. You'd really need to go get, like, a guy if you're going to be moving Brett Beatty at this point.
yeah, I'll say it would have to be like a guy, like then you still.
That's like if the Tigers
still want to try to do it without him.
It's like if the Tigers were like, "You want Tarek Skubal?" You're like, "Yes, we do."
Cattell,
Yes,
32-year-old Cattell Marte.
yeah. Cattell's still like one of the 10 best players
With like
in baseball.
a 7-year deal and 150 mil left.
He's here till 2030. So is Brett Beatty.
Yeah, right, same thing. But I know. I think that we're even getting to a point with Brett Beatty where it's like I'm just confident in his spot. Like, you know what I mean? Like next year he's starting on opening day. I don't know where, but the rest of the team will fill in around him.
Yeah, he may not be the everyday player ever for this team, but he might be the play 3-4 times a week because you can move between third and second.
I think next year he will be for sure be an everyday player.
Ooh, you think so?
Heading into the season,
What
we're
position?
working on third.
Okay.
We're working on 83 games with 800 OPS and plus defense.
Listen,
Like, what's
I like it.
This is the exact thing that Mark Vientos did last year, so maybe this all happens again. But it's just like maybe we
is
need to get to
cyclical.
the next year. Yeah, it's just you could just like feel the ball player it is from Brett Beatty. It's emanating, like the confidence is growing so much, both like of himself and his teammates of him.
Also,
I think that's cool.
You see how bad he got major screwed today? There was a strike 3 called missed to him from Bryce Elder at one point in the game. Clear strike 3, missed it. The next pitch was about 3 inches inside to Brett Beatty. Umpire punched him right out. Keith Radd on the radio was like, "Oh," he's like, "I know you missed that last week, but you can't give that one a makeup call. It wasn't even close."
A Raddick strike zone definitely on Sunday, but there was also a play that Beatty. I'm not gonna say it was a play like he should have made, but that double play before the rally began,
Yeah.
it was a good turn. He just for some reason didn't get a lot in the throw.
Slow
And Ozzie
developing.
Ozzie Albies does run well, so it is hard to turn 2 on him. Wasn't the hardest hit ground ball either. It was again, like we're gonna nitpick everyone. We gotta nitpick him as well.
Okay, let's move ahead now. Let's look forward. Big series. Philadelphia
Big
Phillies
series.
coming to town. James, you've been telling the people what the pitchers are doing, and it's been working. We can't hit Bryce Elder. He's got some witch magic. Fuck it, I'm done. No more Bryce Elder anymore probably this season, so we're good. Eric Fetty, your boy, got shelled. Joey Wentz got shelled. Cal Quantrill got shelled. The bullpen got shelled. There's a lot of pressure on you because this series against the Phillies, while we are very far away, seven games back as of August 24th, let's make up some ground here. So what are the pitching matchups for us?
All right, so first game of the series, Kodai Senga versus Christopher Sanchez.
So ace off.
Yeah, it's almost. We wish it's a half ace. It's Christopher Sanchez. Tuesday, another 7-10, Sean Manaea versus Jesus Luzardo, and then Wednesday, I want to talk about an ace off. Nolan McLean versus Taijuan Walker.
We're gonna be there, right? Wednesday.
Wednesday, I'm not. Wednesday is when I'm working.
Oh.
I'm planning to go Monday and Tuesday though.
All right, I'll be there Monday, Tuesday as well.
I'm curious about how the Mets handle this rotation. Like we're gonna talk about these pitchers in a second here, but Senga has not looked good and you're pitching him on the 5th day. Like I don't know if they do something to shuffle these guys around, but I do think if they want McLean to face the Phillies, like I'm very curious about how they handle all this stuff.
Now, I'm not saying that for this series, but wasn't there a tweet? Didn't Puma kind of stir the pot a little bit yesterday, saying that people inside the Mets organization, like Jonah Tong, has pitched 2 games in AAA, has been untouchable, and like everybody in the world is singing his praises. Like his stuff is just, it's one of the best in baseball, let alone just AAA. Like the Mets, Puma's tweet basically along the lines was that people inside the Mets organization didn't think it was going to be a conversation about Jonah Tong being come up this year. Now people are like, should he make a start? I'm not saying it's going to be against this Phillies team, but maybe that's a way like you kind of work out this rotation.
Well, he just pitched on Friday, so I don't think he can pitch in this series.
That's what I'm saying. I said it's not this
yeah.
series, but just to talk about how we can maybe get Kodai Senga or even Clay Holmes an extra day. We know how big that is for him as well.
Well, similarly, we figured that this made a lot of sense for the Brandon Sproat debut, whether it would have come this Sunday in Atlanta or Monday at home against the Phillies, because he pitched for Syracuse on Sunday, pitched out of the bullpen for the first time, I think, in his life, and he did not settle in well. He got that first inning was rough for him. Seemed like that was tough. That was a tough mental hurdle. So good that they tried it out in AAA rather than the major leagues.
Yes.
But that seemed like the logical choice here for the guy that for 2 months has been basically untouchable in AAA to be able to slot in on Monday and give the extra day. I think it was Ryan Finkelstein connected a bunch of dots about like taking 4 days off. That's what the Mets did right before they put Nolan McLean up. Again, didn't come true for Sproat. So I do wonder. I still wonder. I think we probably just wind up getting some Hageman innings in the series.
That's what I was going to say. It's got to be Hageman because we know that Frankie Montas is out for the rest of the year with the mystery UCL injury that all of a sudden came. He was warming up the night before, and then all of a sudden he's got a UCL injury.
I mean, it would make sense if he's been pitching through something. He's been so bad, it's unthinkable.
I was about to say, is this bad to say? That, like, I hope he's hurt because he was so bad that something has to be physically wrong for how poorly he was pitching?
No, I don't think that's bad at all. Also, like, it's a horrible thing, but it would really clear up a lot of our questions heading into next year. We're not thinking about that right now.
Nothing about it.
We're not thinking about that. I just think
5.
we've been the preeminent flip-floppers if we're going to see Jonah Tong this year. Literally, in the last 2 episodes, I've decreed, I think we definitely will. They went completely against everything I thought. I said, we're definitely not. And then when Puma sent that tweet out Saturday, I was texting people like, hey, you think this is real? And it's like, that's a weird moment. For Puma to get that scoop, though, would make some sense. I feel like we'd hear Martino say it, but I still just think that the two sides of the same coin. One, I think he's too good for AAA. I think he's definitely one of the 13 best pitchers in this roster. And if you have to win games, you should have him pitching the majors. The other side, he just got to AAA and he's not due to be on the 40 man. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. I don't really see David Stearns rushing it.
Yeah, especially when you do have, and this is going to be so sad to say, but like you have Hagenman, who's on the 40 man and has been good enough. But that's probably what they're thinking is like until. It's really going to be one of those moments where it's like until we physically have to call him up this year, if that's a possibility, we're not going to do it.
And you know who the guy's going to be.
That gets called up?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at the active roster.
You can't figure it out?
Oh,
check
Spro?
your phone. No, check your phone if you got any text messages.
Check my phone if I got any text messages.
Anyone asking if you're up?
Oh, Tyler McGill.
Tyler McGill.
I forgot about him. God damn it.
Tyler McGill, 3 rehab appearances, tweeted out from Mets'd the other day. There was 3 rehab starts. Got a lot of tweets in this account now. I gotta scroll. Shout out to Troll, best intern ever. It is 10 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, no runs, 17 strikeouts.
Fuck.
That's it. And you know what? He pitched, again, I think he pitched Friday. I think Tong pitched Saturday.
Yeah.
So it does line up that Tyler McGill could come back on his 5th day for the Wednesday game to push back Clay Holmes.
If they want to do that, or he pitches maybe Thursday.
But that would actually be McLean. That would be McLean's spot. So again, the pressure point, though, is Monday with Senga. It seems like they're just going to run him out there in the 5th day and let him get lit up again.
I don't love.
But then, I don't believe in punt games, but, if you're going to put one of them, do it against Christopher Sanchez. Let Hageman just take the ball against Christopher Sanchez, try and catch lightning in the bottle.
Talk about an ace-off.
That would be a real ace-off. Christopher Sanchez this whole season has not allowed more than 4. I guess I don't want to fully transition to the series preview now, but he hasn't allowed more than 4 earned runs in any start this season. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He probably comes in second in National League Cy Young to Skeens. He's that good. But I'm very curious about how we handle this because I thought that we were going to see some aggressiveness with the Spro promotion. Not seeing that, I'm really curious about even how much they expect out of Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga on the 5th day.
I mean, it hasn't been much for 2 months, so.
Because Hageman's not even in the bullpen now, so you figure after this game, Brazoban goes back down. If they were going to option Reed Garrett, they would have optioned him on Friday. If you were going to cut Ryan Stanek, you would have cut him already. Those two things are something I don't think they're going to happen. So
I mean, they could just send Reed Garrett down right now.
They could, but you probably were more likely to have done it after he pitched.
Fair.
So I think the fact that we didn't get that notification Saturday makes me think that's just not a consideration. But then also in the same ilk, he wasn't used in high leverage on Sunday. So it's you have to kind of make a decision one way or the other there. You probably just get him on this roster for Brazoban tomorrow. He probably mops up if either Sengo or Manaea just can't go deep, which I don't know if either of them will.
Until they do, I don't believe it. It's kind of where I stand.
So gut check. Does Brandon Spro pitch for the Mets this season?
Yes.
Does Jonah Tong pitch for the Mets this season?
Yes.
Okay, so you think you're back in on Tong now?
I'm back in. The fact he's been so dominant. It's like he's playing on rookie in AAA. If you're a road to the show character and you're Jonah Tong, you're like, why the fuck haven't I been called up yet? What else do you need to see? I'm so much better than these losers down here. Bring me up.
But I think the thing they need to see is the fact that he can mix the arsenal a little bit more. The fact he has to be able to show that he can have the bridge pitch in between, the fastball and the curveball. Because we talked about the curveball a lot.
What if he doesn't need it?
Yeah, he might not need it. The fastball might be good enough where he doesn't need it. I mean, because he ran through the Indianapolis Indians. How would they still have that name? That's crazy. They still have that name, but Cleveland doesn't. That's kind of funny. I never thought about that.
Interesting.
It's just it's 21 swings and misses against a AAA team, a second AAA start. And in that, he threw more.
Granted, it's the Pirates, but
it's the Pirates AAA, so it's just basically double A. But again,
high A.
He might be the exact kind of guy we talk about where it's just there's nothing for him to do at AAA.
No.
It's just he's just simply too good. While he might still have things he theoretically has to work on before reaching the major leagues, he's just too good for AAA. And the fact that in the start, more so than the first one I think was 90% fastballs, changeups.
Yes.
This one, we got that down to about 80. And we were throwing some sliders and curveballs actually in this one. The slider got 2 swings and misses, and the shape was a bit firmer. And it's like but the fastball might just be good enough to just destroy major league hitters. Like it might just. Like he might be able to just like show up the Imanaka his way like through lineups. That guy has like a 2.5 ERA. He doesn't even look that impressive doing it. And like he's touching 98. Like, and his velocity does fall in these couple starts. I think he probably still needs to put some meat in his bones, Jonah Tong. But it's just he's one of your 13 best pitchers. Like it would almost be a disservice to the guys in the clubhouse to not give him something this year. And he probably has more innings than McLean or Sproat.
Probably. Maybe.
I mean, maybe. I think so. He's thrown less this year, fewer this year. So
fair. I don't know. I think we'll see both of them at some point. I don't know if I'm not going to make the prediction that they're both on the playoff roster if we make it there, but I do think we see both of them at some point this year.
Oh, but they could be in the playoff roster. There's no point calling them up. They're not going to be in the playoff roster.
Well, I'm just saying, like if Sproat comes up and gets hit, I think he's probably going to go right back
for
down.
sure. Yeah.
Same thing with Tong.
If either of them come up and get hit, but you have 1 week from when we're recording this. They got to be in the 40-man by September 1st to be playoff eligible.
Is that true?
I believe so. Double check me right now.
No, I think prospects are different. I think that's like if you're bringing in guys, surely, because you should be able. What if? God forbid, there's a tragic.
Maybe injuries can change that.
Yeah, I think like injuries should be able to change that because I think that's more so like if you're bringing in new players to the organization. Has to be. That'd be insane.
A playoff eligible prospect. This is AI, so it might not be true. Okay. But it's you got to be on the 40-man roster or injured list by August 31st.
Man, it feels like that can't possibly be right.
I'll check. Go to the MLB glossary right now. I'm trying to scroll right now for
like September call-ups that it got added to the 40-man have never been able to. I get maybe they've just always been on the 40-man.
Yeah, I think you're on the 40-man. I think it's about being on the 40-man.
Right. Maybe that's just what it is. All right. Well,
so
I mean, I'll tell you what.
It's a key day to watch.
Mets do have some guys that can clear off this 40-man roster, though, for sure. So
definitely, no doubt about that.
No offense to Ty Adcock, Alex Carrillo, Chris Davinsky, Dom Hamill, Kevin Herget, Brandon Waddell, Jonathan Pintaro still on here. There's room for some pitchers that I think are a little higher quality than that.
And I think the Mets know that. And I think they're really weighing it.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that Puma saying that can't mean nothing. He's been doing this too long and has too many connections to throw something crazy out there like that on a Saturday evening.
Too many Mr. Softies to not have those connections.
Some ice cream for breakfast. Mike Puma special. But again, pitching matchups the series against the Phillies after that good minor league pitching talk. Senga Sanchez, Manaea Luzardo, McLean, Taijuan Walker. Christopher Sanchez, tip the cap. Yeah, there's no game plan for this one.
No.
It's just you got to hope the ground balls get through. The fact that he's just throwing sinkers and changeups over and over again, and they look exactly the same when they leave his hand. And they have like a 10, 12 mile an hour difference. No, it's a 9 mile an hour, 10 mile an hour difference. It's just they're dropping a lot. You're just pounding everything to the ground. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's fucking incredible.
It's funny because when he first came up on the Phillies, I don't know if you guys remember this, but he was like, "Oh, we're facing Christopher Sanchez." Like he sucked when he first came up. He was horrible.
Didn't they trade for him from somewhere as like a beleaguered prospect? Wasn't there some kind of acquisition?
I'll quickly find that out for you real quick. I don't remember if that's the case or not.
He was a Ray initially, and they got him. I don't know how they got him.
They got him for Curtis Mead.
Okay. I knew there was a weird trade along the lines.
What a weird
like that,
trade.
Yeah, imagine an all-time coup by the Phillies when everyone thought Curtis Mead was the guy.
Christopher Sanchez, like the first 20 appearances of his career, had like a 7 ERA, and now he's simply one of the best pitchers in baseball. That's your guy.
Oh, I was so in on him this year. That was my guy for sure. But again, you're not going to. I don't know if you're going to do that much. Again, just you got to get those ground balls through the hole. Next two guys are pretty interesting here. Jesus Luzardo and Taijuan Walker. Luzardo, he went blazing at the beginning of the season, was untouchable, had a new sweeper that was great, but he's lost a lot of consistency with that sweeper as the time's gone on. The thing with Luzardo is that he's just simply not a strike thrower, so you kind of have to wait him out a little bit. Sanchez, I think it plays just be aggressive. Like he's probably going 7-8 innings anyway, so just try to get on him early in the count, put the ball in play, try to make him uncomfortable. Luzardo, this is like a wait. This is a wait and see game for the Mets. You want to wait to see until you get that hang sweeper. You want to see when he gets that changeup that he can't execute to the lefty the second or third time around the order. That's where he's gotten into trouble. Third, fourth, fifth innings, going around lineups 2 or 3 times, letting guys on base and making mistakes and getting a home run hit off him.
I actually hate to do this to you, but I think he's actually been really good third time through the order. I remember watching a game of his recently. He's better third time through the order than when he goes first and second time. I remember because I was like, what? That's an insane stat.
I was talking about some friends about third time through the order stuff today on Sunday. And the fact that the Mets like aren't the worst team in baseball third time through the order is really funny.
Yeah.
You know the 2 teams in the league who've allowed their pitchers to face batters third time through the order, the fewest?
The Dodgers.
They've done the fewest.
And because I did that tweet the other day, I got smoked about talking about how like the Mets pitchers not going deep is like a lame conversation that everyone overblows. The Brewers are going to be my other choice.
Yep, those are it.
Oh,
Those
crazy.
Those are the 2 teams that don't allow their pitchers to see the most hitters. I can't believe it too because the Brewers don't like analytics. So it's amazing if they would do that.
That's interesting too because those teams stink, right? And their pitching's horrible.
Also, Jesus Luzardo, I don't know where you got your information, but the third time through the order, it's a 5.6 ERA.
Okay, then maybe it's somebody else.
Yeah. No, I've covered too many of Jesus Luzardo starts this year and watched that happen where he'll just like let a couple guys on base, then just totally miss with something.
Who was I
give
watching?
up a 3-run home run.
I was watching a Jesus Luzardo start. I'm telling you.
Maybe he got blown up. That Red Sox start he had 3 weeks ago really got blown up, that stat, because he gave up like 8 runs the third time through the order.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it might have been before that, possibly.
So that could have been it. But like he's just, again, like that sweeper is going to be big time. He likes to steal strikes with it for the righties as well. So that could be something for the Mets to look at. He'll throw that sweeper to the righties early in counts. And again, I also misspoke before. The righties are the ones who are going to be able to hit that changeup for home runs. He's going to be mixing that one in more.
He's also been hot in August.
Yeah, that's fine. Jesus Luzardo, every single day, you do not know what you're getting. That's who he is. He could throw a 9-inning shutout against us. We could knock him out in the second inning. That's kind of who he is. Taiwan, I want to go hats off to what the Phillies have done with him because he's been like awesome.
I know, but
he actually has. I would like to hit him.
Yes.
I intend to crush him. The game he just had against the Nationals on Friday, his last pitch, where Jonah Tong shit himself and blew that game for the Phillies. That was the last time they lost that series. Walker gave up a 3-run home run to the third batter in the game, and then he gave up like 2 more base runners the rest of his start. Like, it's very amazing. He's been doing the color thing that he used to do with us, where he just leaves that color in the back door. He can make you make a late decision because all the lefties are going to be in the lineup against him. So that's going to be a fun one. Him and Soto are definitely going to have like a 9-pitch battle where he's going to be trying through like 7 straight colors trying to pick off an edge. And then Soto will foul off one. He'll take a close one. He'll get a call strike. He'll look back at the umpire. Like, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 good battles between Taiwan Walker and Juan Soto. But like, he has a 3.4 ERA on the season. Like, he hasn't given up more than 3 runs in 8 starts since he moved back to their rotation.
Yeah, no, it's
like
crazy.
He's been like the absolute premier, like 4th, 5th starter for this team to kind of drag them through. And they've like lost Zach Wheeler, inconsistency and injuries from Aaron Nola. Like, it's been kind of and like major inconsistencies from Jesus Luzardo. Like, he's been a weirdly steadying force for this Phillies team.
Which is also something to talk about too, is that Taiwan doesn't strike anybody out, though. This is the big thing.
Yeah.
It's balls in play. And we know balls in play
totally.
are dangerous. We've seen it with Clay Holmes. Balls in play are dangerous. So as long as the Mets, like, he's the guy where you mentioned, try to jump all over Christopher Sanchez, be patient with Luzardo. I think with Taiwan, you want to knock this guy out of the game. Like, just go attack.
But again, like, I think sometimes that he knows how to play into that attack that teams do against him because he throws that annoying ass color that's just eating edges. Like, he will just stay, if he's right.
So then play all the righties against them.
Yeah, maybe they should do that, but then he still has to sweep it. Like, maybe the thing to get with Taiwan is that you kind of have to feel out who he is. Like, we remember watching Taiwan that sometimes he'd get on the mound, you'd be like, nice, this guy's so on right now.
You
And
could tell
sometimes
from
you'd be
the
like,
first
oh,
pitch.
he's got fucking nothing. Because it's all about, he has to be so precise with his command, but he's going to just make it so annoying with that color against the lefties. Like, you're going to be like, oh my God. Like, so many pitches you feel like are hittable, but you can't make a decision. Then he'll break a sinker off it too, and he'll go the other way. He'll be like, damn, he's an annoying guy. And it's like, credit to him because people were really shitting on him, that big contract he signed, the fact that he has been a reliable pitcher. He's kind of done exactly the Clay Holmes. He's got 3.4 and 1.3 whip in the 100 innings, which is funny, but that's gonna be probably a swing game of the series. At least I hope it will be.
I almost said something about the Phillies, and I didn't. I'll tell you this.
Good. What?
Kyle Schwarber, quick conversation, 500 home runs. He's a Hall of Famer, right?
100,000,000%.
Because he's really close.
I know, he's really close. And a lot of people are shitting on Kyle Schwarber for the no WAR for the Hall of Fame, which I understand that to a degree. David Ortiz was the first ballot Hall of Fame with 50 career WAR.
Yeah.
And again, like, Kyle Schwarber, I don't think he's going to get close to 50 WAR even.
No, won't sniff it.
No, but he's still like, I don't know. You're going to keep someone with 500 home runs out of the Hall of Fame?
This is where I think, like, WAR, like, we should have a little more context than just blanket numbers for WAR, because 500 home runs is the most valuable thing you could ever do in a single moment in any baseball game ever. The most valuable thing a player could ever do is hit a home run. A pitcher throws 1 strike. That's 1 strike. A hitter hits 1 home run on the same pitch that was thrown by that pitcher. It's 1 run guaranteed no matter what. Like, it's the conversation on Twitter, because I put it out there about that when he gets to 500, he is a no doubt Hall of Famer. in my books. People are like, you're crazy. I'm like, have you watched baseball? I had someone try to complain. They're like, Kyle Schwarber's a one-sided player, a one-tool player. They're like, so we're going to put Juan Pierre in the Hall of Fame because he stole bases? I'm like, are we comparing stolen bases to hitting home runs? Are we fucking that stupid? That was the dumbest comment I ever saw. I had to bring it up.
I think if someone averaged like 160 stolen bases a year, they could be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think Schwarber's just, again, there's still a long way to go. Like, I know that right now, Schwarber, when he's turning 33, he's having the best season of his career. He might actually win the National League MVP. Like, we're trending towards that right now in the sports books.
You can't. He can't.
Look at the odds.
I know, but if you're betting Kyle Schwarber to win the MVP right now, you're an idiot. Shohei Ohtani has better offensive numbers and pitches.
He's pitched a little bit this year. He's not pitched a lot.
He's thrown 50 innings.
That's a lot of innings,
That's more innings than Kyle Schwarber's thrown his entire career.
True. Good point. Really good point there. But the fact that the MVP sometimes is a little stupid.
If Kyle Schwarber wins over Ohtani, the MVP no longer matters anymore. It's officially a bullshit award.
So now you're all in on the war for
No, I'm all in on
MVP.
Shohei Ohtani's a better hitter, and he also pitches. He is just a better hitter too.
Oh, definitely. But I still think that, Judge's stats are going to be better than Cal Raleigh at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Who do you think Judge's going to be MVP over Raleigh?
I think that it's going to be close.
I think it's going to be close to. Okay, but if the Padres win the division, you're going to give Shohei an MVP?
Yes, 100%.
All right, I'll see if they do.
He gets mine.
Okay, I probably vote for him as well, but I can see the writers being like, let's give Schwartz one. He doesn't have
exactly
one. I think
why we shouldn't have writers make these votes.
Yeah, it's true, totally true. But yeah, like the question about Schwarber is more of if he gets to 500 home runs, if he's a Hall of Fame.
Yes,
I think that if someone does that, he will. But like, I don't know how like this guy has just found like all the bat speed in the world and made the best. Even though he's always made really good swing decisions, like the best ones of his career.
He probably
again turning 33.
Probably just had the bat speed forever. We didn't have the numbers.
Yeah, I think it's even better than last year though. Oh no, it's always been elite.
I think he's just always had good bat speed.
Yeah,
because like I remember watching him with the Cubs in that NLCS when we played them in 2015. Because he torched us. He was the only guy in the Cubs that did anything, Schwarber. And like watch him like, oh, this guy's gonna hit like 40 home runs forever. Like he's got a softball swing.
He's gonna get like 50, 55 home runs a season. But him kind of leading it to the top of his Phillies order. The Phillies are hot right now. The Phillies are a really good team.
Yes.
The Phillies are one of the most complete teams in baseball. Like Turner's been hot, Bryce Harper's been on fire, Schwarber's awesome. Like Real Muto has had a good second half.
I'll save it. Just remember what James said. I'm going to talk about it at the end of the series.
Okay, sure. But I mean, I didn't say okay. Whatever. It's a shame that Zach Wheeler's out. Not a shame for the Mets, but a shame for baseball. Bohm is back. We know Mark feels about him. Castellanos, I'm not gonna say anything. Brandon Marsh, Harrison Bader, Bryce Stott, I'm not gonna say a word. This is an incredibly solid baseball team.
Yeah, good baseball team. No, I totally agree. They're a very good baseball team. But
and they finally did something that we've been calling for them to do forever, which is get rid of Garrett Stubbs because he sucks. And Rafael Marchand's like actually a good backup catcher who's like actually can play a little bit.
That's the Phillies. I got nothing else to say. They're just good, and we're so far back where it's like can't really even think about that right now.
No, the division's literally not even a conversation. And like if we get the Johan Duran save chance, like he's kind of tormented us even when we used to see him on the Twins. Like the guy's disgusting.
Is his walkout better than Edwin Diaz's right now?
I think right now it is. Yeah, they're playing better.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think objectively it is.
No,
but
I want objectively. Yeah.
I mean, homer take. I'll always take Edwin.
All right.
Give me some truth serum. I might say Duran.
I think the trumpets are just getting a little tired.
I think so. It's been a long time now. Very long time with the exact same routine. Yeah. Exact. For 4 years.
Ooh,
for 3 years. 3 full years.
This is the last question before we wrap it up here. Mm-hmm. Do we see... does Ryan Helsley come out to Hell's Bells with all the nonsense during the
fifth inning down by 4?
Yeah.
I hope not. I really hope for his sake they just stop doing that. Here's another big thing about this series. We're getting Jose Alvarado. Just got activated from his suspension, the Rat.
The Rat fucks back. Maybe that's... brawl. I want to brawl so bad.
Maybe that could be the brawl. Brawl the Phillies.
You looking if we got Frankie Peppers?
I'm checking if we got them. I think we do. Shout out all you guys who made bolognese. We're retweeting some bolognese from the Mets'd Up podcast. That was really cool to see. Just nice that the community came together and we won a series.
It worked.
And then we do have Frankie Peppers. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Here comes the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Francis Peppers.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Peppers. How you doing?
How you doing?
It seems that I had 2 people make some bolognese, and it seems that when 2 people make bolognese, the Mets win 2 games in a series. So perhaps if we get some more people making more bolognese, 1 bolognese equals 1 win. So I don't know how many games we got left. I'm going to say like How about I see 40 bologneses for the rest of the year? That'll get us where we need. Tough loss to end the series. I'm not too heartbroken by it. Wish we could have swept, but it happens. Teams lose 4 to 3 games all the time. I'm encouraged from what I'm seeing from Vientos. Pete does look lost. I think he's going to come around as the season starts to end. And I don't have much more to say about that. I'm happy to see the Mets score some runs on Friday and Saturday nights. I'll be at Citi Field on Saturday, and I'm seeing this band on Wednesday. System is Down, the System of a Down, I think. So I'm excited for that, though. I'll post some pictures for you boys if you like the heavy metal music. Anyway, boys, I'll talk to you soon. Let's go Mets.
James, can you name one System of a Down song?
Absolutely not.
Oh, they're awesome. I can't believe Chop Suey? Toxicity?
Oh, I would never be able to name those songs. But
Aerials?
I definitely know what those songs are.
BYOB?
Oh, BYOB.
Yeah.
That's not my game.
System of a Down is bangers.
Also, if you guys need the bolognese recipe, it's pinned on the series recap video from last week against the Nationals.
Simple, easy. Guys, thank you so much for listening, watching this episode of the Mets'd Up Podcast. Make sure you're following us on all our social media at Mets'd Up on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribe to the Mets'd Up Podcast YouTube channel to see the video version of this. And of course, if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on his socials at
James Shiano.
I'm Draftneck Mark with a C. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you all on the next episode. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Let's go Mets.